Hi everybody. Just wanted to wish you a peaceful and loving holiday season in person, and also share with you the experience timeline that I highly recommend you do this time of year. I pre-prepped my stuff so that we could do this in a short period of time, but here's how it goes. You can see, actually, let me adjust the camera so that you can actually see what I've done on the screen. So what I have taken is one of these very large Post-it notes, and essentially down the middle, I've drawn a timeline, and it says time here. I've drawn a little smiley face up here for successes and a frowny face down here for disappointments. And then along the middle, we're gonna actually capture learnings, because I believe learnings could be both the result of something positive or negative, and really become neutral when they get put into play and maybe even turned into successes. That would be wonderful. So here's how this goes. So this is my reflection on this year. I figured out my health challenges, which is a super success for me after struggling for several years with that. I have set better boundaries this year than probably ever before, which is a huge success for me. I've been able to deepen my family relationships and really let go of some of the masking and the code switching that I was doing in my professional life between who I really am authentically and how I was showing up at work. And that has really been a long journey for me to let go of some of that and just really show up authentically all the time as the same exact person without putting on those masks. So that's a huge success for me this year. Lots of business successes too, but I'm really focused on the personal for this, just so that it's applicable for anybody. You can add a personal and a professional to this timeline so that you can really see all of the things that you've accomplished across, you as a multi-passionate and multifaceted person. For my disappointments, I lost a dear friend this year, which was really hard. I actually also came to terms with some toxic relationships that maybe I wasn't looking at before in the same way, but I made space for looking at those this year. And I really felt when I left Accenture, I really lost sort of my collaboration at work and had to find that in a different set of community and a different sense of community. And that was really, in the beginning, a huge disappointment and something that I really had to come to grips with. From a learning perspective, this is along the middle. I would say I learned how much of an optimist I really am, maybe sometimes to my own detriment, but just really, I don't give up on things very easily. Or people very easily, or situations very easily. Maybe that's because we're all conditioned to sort of power through, but really knowing when to grit through something versus when to quit is actually discernment at its finest. And I'm still learning that lesson, if you can imagine. So that's a learning for me. Another one is really just that I'm sovereign. I am who I am, and I'm not for everybody, and the beat of my drum is not necessarily music to everybody's ears, and that's totally okay. And I think that has actually served me really well this year. When I'm creating content or engaging an audience, I just am able to show up with some of that masking dropped, show up as I am, and when I resonate, it's really magical, and when I don't take it personally. And then finally, one of the things I really did discover as a result of some of this coming to grips with the loss of collaboration was that I actually can create community from anywhere, that I'm pretty powerful in that way, to pull together people from all different walks of life, from all different experiences, and bring them together and be able to really hold safe space for us all to show up, as authentically and vulnerably as we can in that moment. And I think that that's a pretty powerful learning for me. So as you can imagine, this is a really lovely way and just a beginning to sort of think about your successes, your disappointments, your learnings for the year. And the other part of this that you could do is actually divide this and put sort of looking back, right, over 2022 here, or create another one. And then start to bring in some intention for 2023. What would your successes look like? Obviously, we're not gonna set ourselves up for disappointment. We know that some of those things will come. Maybe there are some things that we actually want to put on our agenda for learning or set intention for learning more about. But the learning and the successes, we can certainly start to set those intentions and really think about what we're calling in for 2023. So I highly recommend you take a moment to do your reflection, take a moment to start to look forward. I know we do that a lot for New Year's Eve and resolutions, but really starting to do that now and sitting with it and letting it sort of, get real juicy and cultivate right inside of ourselves so that we really know what we're looking for in 2023. And then writing it down, right? Design thinking is one of the most beautiful manifesting tools I've ever worked with. And so I highly encourage using this exercise this time of year to really take a look at how much and how far you've come, and then really setting intention for where you want to go. All right. Sending you so much love. Mwah. Bye-bye.